So, we're going to focus on intercultural adjustment and the experiences of sojourners, so people who temporarily move across cultural boundaries, and the phenomenon of culture shock. And this is grounded in the work of Tingtumi and Dorji, who offered a nuanced, layered model of adjustment. So, let's begin by unpacking what culture shock really is, who experiences it, and why it matters for us in counseling. So, culture shock is more than confusion. It's a sense of identity disruption. Tenzin's story, which was the tea interview, is a vivid illustration, right? Ordering tea in Montana became a series of choices and unknowns, different tea types, milk options, sweeteners, all unfamiliar. So the interaction revealed both cultural expectations and invisible norms. And the shock wasn't just logistical, it was emotional. He felt uncertain, embarrassed, and frustrated. Sojourners range widely, so from international students and military personnel to tourists and diplomats. So the motivation and expected duration shape their experiences. So some are goal driven, like business or study, and others seek exploration or service. So their degree of preparation and support systems can vary drastically, and expectations, both realistic and not, play a huge role in how culture shock unfolds. Coins by anthropologist Oberg, culture shock reflects things like identity loss, strain from adjustment, rejection by others, confusion around roles, and powerlessness. So it happens not just abroad, but moving from high school to college, East Coast to West Coast, or even through digital media exposure can trigger it, right? So it's a normal, expected part of cross-cultural transition. Word's ABC model helps structure the experience. So affective is the feelings of stress, fear, and disorientation. Behavioral, the B, right, challenges in learning how to act appropriately. So things like etiquette, timing, gestures. The C, cognitive, is difficulty interpreting what behavior means. For example, why coffee gets free refills, but tea does not. So Tenzin's tea experience involved all three. He felt confused, which was A. He didn't know how to respond, which was B, and couldn't make sense of the cultural logic, which is C. So adjustment requires shifting schemas to fit the new cultural quote unquote rules. So, yes, culture shock can be painful, but it also carries transformative potential. So, the cons include psychosomatic symptoms like stomach aches or identity confusion and social withdrawal. Pros, growth in empathy, expanded worldviews, and behavioral flexibility. So people can become more self aware, learn to reframe situations, and develop cross cultural coping skills. So counseling professionals should help clients recognize both sides, distress and opportunity. So, the severity of culture shock often depends on the distance between one's home and host culture. So, not just geographic, but in values, customs, communication norms. Ironically, perceived similarities, things like the US versus the UK, can backfire. People may ignore real differences and experience unexpected friction. Personality traits like emotional stability, flexibility, open mindedness, cultural empathy, and social initiative can buffer the stress. And a good match or cultural fit between personal traits and cultural norms, for example, extroversion in individualistic cultures, helps ease adjustment. So, counselors should consider how both personality and context shape the adaptation process. Psychological adjustment involves how clients feel, so their sense of well being, emotional balance, and self worth. Tools here include things like positive self talk, humor, reinterpreting difficult experiences. Sociocultural adjustment focuses on how they function. Are they able to navigate relationships, norms, daily routines? So these domains are intertwined and challenges in one often affect the other. So we want to encourage clients to build skills and support systems in both realms. And we want to be attentive to both internal and external facets of adjustment. Social media, in this case, can act as a bridge between cultures, allowing exploration without performance pressure. It enables low risk interactions, information gathering, and emotional connection to home communities. Online ethnic groups provide support through informational and emotional messages, but balance is key. So, excessive online connection may prevent in person integration. So, we want to validate these digital spaces, but while at the same time encouraging safe, real world engagement. Intercultural competence isn't passive, it's the active management of cultural difference. So, mindfulness is the awareness of self and others in context. Cognitive flexibility is adapting to new frameworks and perspectives. Tolerance for ambiguity is staying grounded amid confusion or uncertainty. And empathy is entering into another's worldview with care and humility. So these traits are essential when counseling linguistically and culturally diverse clients, and we want to model them, teach them, and of course, build them. This nonlinear model illustrates the emotional roller coaster of intercultural adjustment. So, the honeymoon is the excitement and optimism. Frustration, hostility is when things go wrong, confidence drops, many quit or withdraw here. Humor is when new perspective emerges, minor victories feel big. In sync is when the person feels at home, finds routine, identity stabilizes. Ambivalence, so as they prepare to leave, they feel both loss and anticipation. Reentry shock, returning home brings its own unexpected stress. Resocialization is adjusting back. Some thrive, are transformers, right? And some struggle, are alienators. So this isn't just theory. Clients live this arc, and we want to know where they are. When people return home after adapting abroad, they often discover they've changed. So, resocializers reintegrate quietly, burying what they've learned. Our alienators feel disillusioned or disconnected from their old environments. Our transformers integrate new and old, becoming cultural bridge builders and change makers. So, as counselors, we want to recognize that reentry may bring more distress than initial culture shock, and we want to normalize these experiences and help clients reflect on their growth and find ways to honor their transformation, not bury it. Um, so, in general, we want to normalize the client's culture shock. Things like what you're experiencing is common. We want to ask about their expectations versus reality and help them reframe gaps as learning opportunities. We want to explore where they feel at home and where they feel excluded. Narrative tools like journals or storytelling can help clients make meaning of their transitions, and counselors should validate both the disorientation and the personal growth that comes with it. So we want to remind folks that culture shock isn't a problem, it's a part of human growth, the whole human experience of growth. And the models like the ABC or the W shape are tools for understanding. They're not rigid steps. In counseling the linguistically diverse, we attend to language, identity, worldview, and belonging. We want to encourage clients to develop both resilience and cultural curiosity. Um, and if we're working with students, we want to remind them that they too are culture bearers. So we're always negotiating culture.